India's middle class can no longer buy homes in any of our big cities now. It has gone way beyond our reach. That's because housing prices have shot up since 2021, but incomes just haven't kept pace. Average home prices have risen by 45 to 60% across India's cities in the past 4 years, whereas middle class salaries have gone up at best by 20 to 30%. In many cases, take the IT sector for instance, salaries have been almost stagnant or have gone up by just 5 to 10%. So each year, more and more middle class families are giving up on their dream of owning a home, which used to be a typical middle class dream. The proportion of middle class families who had earlier planned to buy a home and have now decided to either delay it or just switch to renting, that proportion is staggeringly high now. Stay with me. I'm going to give you that shocking number in a minute. First, let me illustrate what is happening to middle class home buyers with the story of two brothers, Rakesh and Rajesh Sharma of Gurgaon. Rakesh is 4 years older than Rajesh, but both are very similar. Both went to the same mid-rung business school and both of them ended up in the top 10% of their MBA class. Now, of course, Rakesh being senior by 4 years, started off on a job first. He put his nose to the grind, worked very hard, earned decent promotions and rose to become a team leader. He was already 4 years into his job when COVID struck. There were fears of mass layoffs at that time, but Rakesh did well and even got a good raise. In 2021, right after the second wave of COVID, Rakesh got a raise and his salary rose to 1 lakh rupees a month. Now, unlike Dharmendra, aka Viru and Sholay, he had no vices at all. He spent very carefully and so did his young wife. Their only indulgences were on their 1-year-old son. Till then, Rakesh and his small family, Rajesh, who was yet to marry, all lived together in a joint family with their parents. But now, with a small child around, along with work from home pressures, Rakesh began to feel that it was time to move out of the family home. So his wife and he went house hunting in Gurgaon. They wanted an apartment in a decent middle class condominium with power backup, 24-hour security, and maybe even a swimming pool. The brokers they met all told them that go to Golf Course Extension Road. That's where it is at. But almost everything there was cost between 1.5 to 2 crores, and Rakesh couldn't afford that in 2021. So they moved further away from the central hub of Gurgaon and found a nice 800 square feet 2-bedroom flat for about 55 lakh rupees. Now Rakesh had about 15 lakh rupees saved in his bank, so a 40 lakh loan was going to be enough for them. By now it was close to Diwali of 2021 and most banks were offering special festive rates on home loans at that time. The bank that Rakesh went to checked his salary slips and the person there was satisfied that he would be able to pay his EMIs, and that EMI worked out to roughly 37,000 a month. Now husband and wife agreed that it would be a bit of a stretch initially, it would be tight on a salary of 1 lakh, but then Rakesh was in line to become a senior manager in a couple of years, and the pay hike that he would get would make it pretty easy to pay the EMI later on. So the young couple bit the bullet and moved into their own home in October 2021, 4 years ago. Fast forward 4 years and it is the younger brother, Rajesh's turn to look for a house for himself now. He too has been working now for 5 years. He got married a couple of years ago and the couple have a baby daughter. Although Rajesh is at the same level as his elder brother was in 2021, his salary is slightly higher thanks to inflation. This year in 2025, Rajesh's monthly salary has risen to 1.2 lakhs. So if Rakesh was able to pay an EMI of 37,000 rupees on a 1 lakh salary, Rajesh thought that I should be able to pay 45,000 rupees. Rajesh and his wife decided to look for a house in the same housing estate where Rakesh and his family lives. The elder brother lives. It would be nice to live close to each other. They thought the kids as they grow up would be able to play together. And also the families would act like a support system for each other. And that was necessary as they were moving out of the joint family. As luck would have it, there was a similar 800 square foot 2 BHK flat available in the same tower where the elder brother lives. But the trouble is, that now the going rate is 1.2 crore rupees. On top of that, Rajesh has only 12 lakh rupees saved in the bank. Inflation has been so high in the past 2 to 3 years that he hasn't been able to save as much as his elder brother had been able to. But his parents and Rakesh come to his rescue and they offer to lend him 8 lakh rupees interest free. That makes 20 lakhs, right? Now Rajesh would still need to borrow 1 crore rupees to be able to buy that house. So he goes to the bank and the loan officer looks at his papers and clearly tells him that he wouldn't be able to afford such a big loan. The monthly installment on such a loan would be more than 80,000 and it would be impossible for Rajesh to pay that on a salary of 1.2 lakhs a month. Now the elder brother Rakesh paid a little more than 1/3 of his salary as EMI. Right, in 2021. Rajesh would have to pay 2/3 for the same house in 2025. On top of that, he hears rumors in his office of layoffs coming in his company. So Rajesh simply can't afford to take a risk right now, unlike what his elder brother could. In the end, Rajesh and his wife settle down to renting a flat in that same condominium. And ironically, they end up paying 37,000 rupees as rent, exactly what the elder brother Rakesh is paying as EMI to own his house. This story might be fictional as far as the characters and the situations go, but every data point in it is real. I've taken the actual price for a home in a particular housing estate in Gurgaon and compared 2021 and 2025 prices. I've taken real salary increases that have been reported in typical middle management jobs between 2021 and now. I've taken real home loan rates to calculate the AMIs for 2021 and 2025. And I've taken the actual prevailing rents in that same housing estate right now. Now, many of you watching me are in the same boat. You thought of buying a house, especially because it seemed like a good investment as well. Real estate prices have been rising so fast. But right now, you can't afford it. You're part of a massive majority of Indians who had plans to buy homes, but right now they can't buy it. And you don't get to know it because mainstream media doesn't talk about the problems we, the middle class, face. That is why, if you want the truth, please support independent media like the Quint. You can do it by becoming a member of the Quint family. Just scan the QR code on the screen that you see right now and select one of the plans. Your support will help us bring you more such data-driven stories that matter to you. And also do subscribe to the channel. Alright, now here's the shocking number I promised you. According to a recent survey report of a large number of prospective home buyers by the international property consultant Aunindyo, only 21% or 1 out of 5 Indians who had planned to buy a house will continue with their plan. Another 18%, again roughly 1 in 5, have either postponed it indefinitely or simply cancelled their plan to buy a house. 32% have delayed their decision slightly, while the remaining 29% say they have postponed it by at least 1 to 2 years. Now, the biggest reason for this is that house prices have increased dramatically. Aunindyo Research and Advisory reports that just in the past 2 years, average home prices in the top 7 cities in India have risen by almost 50%. In the second quarter of 2023, a 1,000 square foot house would have cost roughly 60 lakh rupees on an average across all these cities. In the second quarter of 2025, that has risen to nearly 90 lakh rupees. In fact, Aunindyo's survey shows that 81% of prospective home buyers consider this rise in prices a matter of concern for them. 47% of those surveyed, or nearly half, say that they're very concerned about rising home prices. Homes which were once affordable are now either extremely expensive, and the ones that are still affordable are simply not worth living in. Or they're so far away from the workplace, from schools and hospitals that it doesn't make sense to buy a place like that. That is why more than 1/3 of the prospective home buyers surveyed have dropped their plans of buying and they've switched to renting. The only people who can afford to buy homes right now are the very affluent and the super rich. That is why luxury and ultra luxury home sales have shot up, while there's been a drop in the sales of affordable homes and even mid-rung homes. For instance, in Delhi NCR, luxury homes which cost between 1.5 to 2.5 crore and ultra luxury homes which cost more than 2.5 crore. Together, these two categories accounted for just 10 to 13% of total home sales in 2021. in the first half of 2025, their share has risen to 37 to 40%, while the share of affordable homes has fallen from 35 to 38% in 2021 to just 18 to 20% right now. Mid-end homes priced between 40 to 80 lakhs and premium homes priced between 80 lakhs to 1.5 crore rupees have also seen a drop in their total share. In 2021, for instance, such homes in Delhi accounted for roughly 48 to 50% of total sales. Now that has dropped to 40 to 44%, depending on the city. In Delhi, it's closer to 40%. Of course, one reason for this is that the rise in house prices has shifted all homes up and moved some of them into the next bracket. But a bigger reason is that only the rich are buying houses right now. Not just to live in, by the way, but also as an investment. They have homes, they're buying another for investment. Anurog's data shows that in the 8 quarters, beginning January 2021 till the end of 2022, about 30% of home buyers were purchasing it as an investment. In the past 8 quarters, between middle of 2023 and the middle of 2025, that percentage has risen to more than 35%. Because of this, property developers have been concentrating only on building homes for the rich and the super rich. The result is a massive oversupply of luxury and ultra-luxury homes across India. In Delhi NCR, for instance, there is an inventory overhang of 19 months, which means it will take more than 1.5 years to sell the houses that have already been built. Forget about the ones that are being built. Mumbai metropolitan region is slightly better than that. It has an inventory overhang of 16 months. Hyderabad has an inventory overhang of 26 months. That means it will take more than 2 years to clear the stock of unsold homes in Hyderabad. Now, will this lead to a property price correction, making homes more affordable for the middle class? That, as they say, is $1 million question. And that is actually apt right now, considering a good house in India nowadays can cost you $1 million. Okay, before I go, another quick reminder, scan the QR code on your screen and become a member of the Quint family. Your support will empower us to bring you stories that matter to you. Until next time, goodbye.